Here are the facts, all of them verifiable. On June 22, 1983, in Rome, a teenage schoolgirl disappeared without trace. She was 15 years old. Her name was Emanuela Orlandi. Her father was a lay employee in the Vatican. Over the past 40 years, Italian authorities have conducted several inquiries. The last one closed in 2015. It took 9 years and resulted in no definitive conclusions or convictions. Still, Emanuela's story continues to be the focus of countless news articles, blogs, books, and a recent documentary series. Considered Italy's most famous cold case, on January 9th this year, the Vatican announced it was reopening investigations and would, quote, leave no stone unturned. Here are the theories, all of them unsubstantiated. Emanuela Orlandi was abducted by the KGB in an attempt to blackmail the Vatican and secure the release of Pope John Paul II's would-be assassin. Emanuela was kidnapped by the Italian mafia in order to extort money allegedly owed them by the Vatican Bank. She was sequestered by Vatican agents and held overseas to cover up vague claims of her being sexually abused. Pietro Orlandi, Emanuela's brother, has spent his life searching for answers, but in a recent television interview, he appeared to turn those claims into accusations when he seemed to insinuate that Pope St. John Paul II himself might have been involved. At that point, Pope Francis felt obliged to defend his predecessor.
E certo di interpretare I sentimenti dei fedeli di tutto il mondo, rivolgo un pensiero grato alla memoria di San Giovanni Paolo II, in questi giorni oggetto di illazioni offensive e infondate.
It was the first time Pope Francis had spoken out publicly regarding the Orlandi case, but it wasn't the first time he'd demonstrated his interest in seeing it resolved. In 2019, he agreed to the opening of 2 tombs inside Vatican City, which were thought to contain Emanuela's remains. They were empty. In 2012 and in 2018, 2 other tombs in Rome were opened and examined for the same reason. Neither revealed anything that could link them to Emanuela. So much for the facts. But there are also the fantasies. Several of them perpetuate a Hollywood-like perception of the Vatican as a darkly dangerous cloak-and-dagger place where popes are poisoned and cardinals kidnap teenage girls. The reality is that, according to the Italian Government Commission for Missing Persons, last year alone, an average of 67 people went missing in Italy every day. The reality is that one can't help wondering if the story of Emanuela's tragic disappearance 40 years ago would still attract the same amount of attention it does if it were not for the Vatican connection.